So today I want to talk about a relatively controversial subject when it comes to the watch community, and that's how much is too much when it comes to refinishing a vintage watch, and specifically the dial, right? That's the one subject that's the most contentious because some people believe that a vintage watch really shouldn't be touched, right? Especially the dial, that whatever patina it's developed over time deserves to be there and is a truer representation of the initial design. I don't necessarily say that's so. And then there are others that believe you should do whatever you can to bring a watch back to its original condition. And I'm not all the way on that side of the fence either. If you'd seen one of my recent videos regarding the Seiko Belmatic that I somewhat refurbished, brought back to life, so to speak, I didn't 100% get it back to as new condition, which I think is mostly impossible given the age and the specific model, but that was never going to be my intention. I just wanted to get it back to where at a glance it looked relatively new, but as you looked closer, you would realize that, oh, it is a vintage piece and it does show some signs of wear. But when it came to the dial, I did a complete overhaul of that dial. The dial was in brutal shape. So I had it removed, completely stripped, all the indices taken off, the Seiko logo taken off, repainted. I wanted the original dial though, because it has a grain to it I didn't want to lose. But then repainted and everything reapplied and put back into the watch so that the dial itself looks practically new. And some people fully disagree with that choice, but I thought it was the right one. And when is it the right one? That's the real question here. Now I've got 3 vintage models currently in my collection. One of them is for sale, but I have 3 of them in my collection. And if you are interested in buying watches at a very good price and watches that are in very good condition, because I keep all my watches serviced and in excellent running order, do yourself a solid, join the email list. The link's in the description. Okay, and enough of that. But I got 3 vintage watches, one of which I did nothing to the dial, nothing whatsoever. One that was slightly cleaned, and of course, the last one being the Belmatic, the one I completely redid. And each of them represents why you would go to, say, that level of refinishing in order to get it to a condition that I think personally is acceptable. Now, others will say the more patina, the better. That's not the case for me, unless it's a really cool patina that doesn't take away from the legibility of the watch. Because again, if you follow my channel, you'll know that legibility is very important to me when it comes to just glancing my wrist and knowing what time it is. So I'm going to begin with the watch that I did nothing with, and that is the Seiko Matic, the 6245-9000, the one that became the first Grand Seiko automatic watch. This dial is in excellent shape, save for one little patina dot that was on it. Now, I actually asked the company that I use for dial refinishing, is that something you could sort of clean up? And they said, no, that form of patina, we would have to refinish the dial. And in this case, the dial is in such great shape, and more importantly, it's such an important piece in history that, save for that one little patina dot, it looks new anyways. So I'd rather keep the original aesthetic, the original design, everything original, and just deal with the fact that, yeah, it shows a tiny bit of age. In that case, this watch, which is remaining in my collection, this is not for sale. Maybe someday it will be. For right now though, I love it. It's one of my favorite dress pieces. The dial is untouched. It's staying the way it is. Then the next watch I have is this Seiko Lordmatic Special from 1971. Now this dial is going to be hard to see. I'm going to take some macro shots of it. It'll be very difficult to see, but there is a little bit of a fading on this dial, and that's because I had this dial was cleaned by the gentleman who serviced it. Okay, I just cleaned it up a little bit. The dial had a little bit of more dirt than patina, to be honest. So the dial basically looks the way it looked from factory, except on real close inspection and the right lighting, you might see a little bit of fading in the almost like the shine of the dial in certain areas, like almost a smudging, but you have to really look hard to see it. So a light cleaning of this dial made complete sense because this watch, generally speaking, on wrist looks new. It really does. You can tell it's an older model just from the design and such and the bracelet, but it looks new. And it didn't require much to get it there. And of course, the last watch, and again, if you've seen the second part of the Bellmatic review, actually, if you watch both, the first part and the second part, you'll have a pretty good idea of what this went through. The dial originally had a slight shade of gray to it. Now it's more of a almost champagne, goldish color as a result of the refinishing of this dial, right? And like I said, it goes completely stripped. They had to reprint the printed sections, reapply all the indices, reapply the logo, everything, completely stripped, redone. That grayish tinge was kind of too difficult to replicate, really. So I wanted this to look more of a dress piece. So this slight change in the colorway made complete sense. And it's also a colorway that this particular model came in. But there are some people I've spoken to who are really disappointed with my decision. But the reality was, sure, I could look down and read the time in its original condition, but unless you look closely or knew exactly what this watch was at a glance, you did not know it was a specific Bellmatic. You didn't know which version of the movement was in it because you couldn't read the jewel count on the outside of the watch. Like, there was a number of things about it, and it just looked beat up. Now, for some people, that's fine, but not for me. Every watch I have, immediately you know what they are, right? And if you don't know what they are, if you don't recognize them right away, you can just look closely and read the information that's provided to you, and you'll know what it is. On top of that, this particular watch, when I won it at auction, what I was very pleased with was the case and bracelet condition were very good, right? Very good. This case, it's not mint, but it's close to it. And to have such a well-preserved case and then all of that oxidation and patina that happened on the interior of the watch, because obviously some moisture had gotten this at some point, the two didn't really match, right? It made for a very unappealing aesthetic. And when I got this back, when it was completed with this redial, I was blown away. Honestly, this watch now appears like 5 times the value I purchased it at. That's what it looks like. It looks like a very expensive watch. And I mean, in the mention of the video, these watches, Bellmatics in this condition, generally go for $1,000 or more. So I could sell this at a profit, and I wouldn't even have to hide the fact that I've had the dial redone because of the condition it now appears to be in. And that's the difference there. So a lot of my watches, and once again, if you follow the channel, you'll know, like at this point, I'm keeping an 8-watch collection. That's what I'm keeping it to, 8 watches. But my watch collection balloons to more than that over the course of a year. I just buy and sell, and I review the ones I really want to review and I find that will be interesting to you. But I'm probably going to keep that watch. But if at some point I decide to sell it, I'll sell it at a profit because of that redial. If I did not redial it, I don't think I could sell it at a profit. I think I could have sold it for maybe cost, like what it cost me, because I paid so little for it at auction. After having it fully serviced and cleaned up and such, I could probably have sold it with the original dial for what it cost me to get it to that point. But if I sell it now, I'll actually make a profit. So that's part of the consideration, is do you want to resell some of these vintage pieces? Because if you do, it's easier to find a buyer of a watch in great shape that photographs well than it is to find a buyer who's like, no, I want it to be 100% the way it was, pretty much untouched except for serviced. whether it looks good or not. It's a much more difficult proposition. And because I buy and sell, the condition and the appearance of watches really matter to me. And when I buy a watch new, it looks new for many years, right? It really takes on very little in the way of scratches. And if it does get a significant scratch, I'm usually quick to try and get it somewhat buffed out, polished out. So that becomes part of the consideration. So for me, whether or not I clean a dial, refinish a dial, or leave it as it is, all comes down to how it looks and what will the representation of that watch be if I have it refinished when it's done. That's the decision maker for me. I do not have a line in the sand, so to speak, of you shouldn't finish it or you should. It all comes down to its condition at the time of purchase for me. Let me know what side of the line you're on, or if, like me, it really matters to you what the basic aesthetic will be at the end of it, and that determines whether or not you'd have a dial refinished. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. It is growing, and I appreciate that. Thank you to all of you who subscribed. We broke 3,000, so let's get to 5. Let's get there. Hopefully we can do that by the end of this year. It's a lofty goal, but I'd love to see it happen. Until next time.